Okay, so it's 7:05 on the 15th, Sunday the 15th. So tomorrow is supposed to be some day that's supposed to be something big, hopefully. God. The and also that Chris Bledsoe thing where he said I can't remember what day he said. Oh, Easter or Passover or something. He said something big was going to happen when this light comes on this. I don't remember, but anyways, his daughter now is saying that people keep saying this date, but they were saying the Chris, her dad, didn't give a date. He just said it's coming around this time. And so, I mean, whatever is going to happen could happen at any moment. And there's always dates. Like right now, there's several dates. So, I guess The Simpsons, they said the 20th. So, what did I say today is the 15th? So so we have 5 days left before we all become millionaires. I motherfucking hope so. Oh God, that is one thing. This is something yesterday that got me was I saw a video talking about Jeffrey and his will. And he had a secret girlfriend that Jiz didn't know about. And so he left all of his big fortune over here to this secret girlfriend. And Jiz is upset because she didn't get what she, was owed to her or something. Which, I was like, that there should be not one bit. They shouldn't have anything. Every single thing. That was a part of the whole, during 2020 when I was watching Donald all the time, he wrote a bunch of EOs. And, they had in little clauses and stuff, and it said anybody involved in certain crimes, which is a big topic of what their crimes are, anyone involved in those would lose everything. All their stuff would be confiscated, and everything would be turned back over to the people. So, give me a break. Jeffrey gets to pass his fortune on to whoever he wants. No. That's BS. It's I don't and I don't even know what the storyline is or whatever, but I say that all of these people who are committing crimes and have become financially well off doing it, their money is going to flip back to the people. I don't know how else it's going to go down. There's something about the X and the R. There's something about the crypto situation. And that is also in the Simpsons prediction for the 20th. But the only thing is on the Simpsons one is the coin that's the bit is supposed to go way up. That one is not going to be going forward. I just know. It was created for doing crimes, and it's involved in crimes. The energy of it is not going to go forward. So... So I don't know, but I don't know what it is that's all of a sudden going to make us millionaires. If it's going to be the people's money is going to go back to us, if the banks are going to fail and take us out of debt, I have no idea how or what's going to go down. But something's going to happen, and and then right now, Wyoming was having 100-mile-an-hour winds. And I saw it tipped over a bunch of trucks. The Hawaii, Maui is underwater. They were having a big thing about floods, and I think they were having floods, and they were expecting volcanoes or something. And and then there's all these blizzards and this horrible cold weather. Here it was so windy yesterday. It was, man, I don't know. There's just this weird feeling. There is such a weird feeling in the air. Like I feel so freaking weird. And last night was just as horrible. It was nonsense. But the only thing is that I was conking out. The second my head hit the pillow, I was out. And so it wasn't the same kind of energy where I could not sleep. I was just like, oh, it was horrible the night before. And I don't know if I was just so tired last night that there was no way you could keep me up. But it was the same thing. Ruthie went out 4 or 5 times. Stella went out. Archie went out. Max, he just decided, I'll just shit in here. That's cool. It's like, you motherfucker, goddamn. I keep on being like, I saved you, motherfucker. Oh, God. He is really irritating me. He just keeps being like, and so when I went out to clean up the poop yesterday, because yesterday it was hectic here. My brother and his wife came, and then it was just hectic. And I don't know if it's just because I was tired and the energy is just cranked the fuck up, man. And but when I went out to clean up the dog poop, because I'm thinking, like, what was the situation last night? And there was, I swear to God, 100 piles of diarrhea. There was so much. And then anybody who has dogs know what a pain it is to try and clean up diarrhea out of grass and stuff. It's like, oh my God. And then I know it's going to be the same when I go out there today, because it was the same all night. Where I don't know what is bothering their stomach. I even dumped out their food and starting over. But for the last 2 days, I gave them, I just gave them chicken and rice. Yes, last night I just gave them chicken and rice. I think, did I give them? I don't even think they got lunch because it was so hectic. Yeah, I don't think I fed them in the middle of the day yesterday. So, that they got rice and chicken and cottage cheese. And cottage cheese is supposed to help with diarrhea. And so I gave them all that, thinking that that would help. And then this morning, it was the same thing, only Stella and Ruthie got sardines because my chicken didn't get delivered and I didn't thaw another one. And I don't even know. And then right now there's supposed to be some more being delivered. And it just keeps on being like, not getting here. And then they just refund me. So I don't know what's going on. When I was like so excited about like, oh man, this chicken is a good deal. And they deliver it. And then that just went south real quick. So anyways, I don't know. So I gotta go out and check this morning, see if it even helped at all. Stella's getting very particular too. And that's a sign of, that's what they had told me with the vet. Like they said that, when they start being like, I don't want to eat, and start being, because usually she would be like scarfing up and stuff. And now she's like, a graham cracker, gross, toast, oh. Like, it's like, what? So, I don't know. I know she's not feeling good, and I know the energy is some BS. And I was all, like, weirded out about the diarrhea situation. But then my brother's dog was with them, and she's having diarrhea. And it's like, what is going on? Is it just the energy on the planet is making them all sick? Is there something environmental here? Is like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. But it made me think, well, it may not be their food. It could be something else, because I don't know, it was kind of a relief when I saw her having diarrhea problem. And then I was like, well, and she kept going too. And so then I was like, well, it's got to be something else, because I mean, she's not eating the food that they're eating. So anyways, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. And somebody had said something about because the nighttime can be so hellacious, that their dog's sleeping in a crate. I should bet the dog's in a crate, which I have 2 crates. I have a big giant crate for Ruthie, and I have another pretty big crate that is I feed Max in, because she's the fastest eater and he's the slowest eater. And Archie and Stella, well, if Archie screws around, which he has been screwing around a lot, and if he screws around and just trots around, Stella keeps her eye on that dish, and if he's not over there eating it, she just moseys over and starts eating his food. So there is still a situation with them too, but it's not any aggressive thing. Archie just goes over, it's like no big deal. And then but anyways, about the sleeping, that's why I had said in my manifesting of my new home that I want a dog bedroom and a dog room. I want a whole dog room. And I picture like what I want. And but here, to have them sleep in a crate, they would have to sleep in the garage. So, and I'd have to order another crate, and then they'd all have to sleep in the garage, and that would be pretty cold. And I think that would they'd keep me up just in there with their howling and crying, and it would be like, ugh. So no, I don't want to just stick them in the garage in a crate. I want to have them have their own bedroom though, and then put a gate up or something, and then just have it situated so they have their own room to sleep, and they had a place, room to feed them out though. Because it seems like, having a big, like, laundry room and then having it set up where I can also feed them in there. And so, I don't know. I just want to have rooms where, like, yeah, I can get away from them for a while. Right now, we're just all like my little setup right now is like small studio apartment, like a small one. And so we are all on each other, all on top of each other. And yeah, anytime you have roommates or anybody and you're just right in the closed up space like that with them, they irritate you very much. And these ones are a bunch of takers. They don't give back a lot. And when they want to give back something, it's tapping on me with their little cold noses or licking me with their little rough tongues, getting up in my face, sitting on top of me. That's them giving back. And it's like, that's just more taking right now. I need my own space. I need, I'm overwhelmed. And this energy on the planet is really emotionally draining. It is like, man, I cannot believe how intense this is. And I've done a lot of healing. I don't even know how people are dealing with it who have not done a lot of healing. It's so intense and it's so aggravating. And and this is a thing too, is like, I know things are going to be changing. Like, I know something's going to happen and I'm going to get a house. That's why I picture my future with a home and what I want from it. I want to have these rooms for the dogs. I want to have more space. I want to have, a better setup than just, this little studio, just a little survival spot, really. And, which is a great survival spot. Like, I've got a spot on the river, but but I kept on, because my brother was going to do this work, and stuff. And I kept being like, man, I don't want him to put a bunch of money in for doing this stuff for me, because I just feel so certain I'm going to be moving out of here. This isn't my future. I'm not going to be living like this forever. And yesterday, that's when he came and brought the stuff to start building the stairs to go above this room. And so I, was kind of like, oh crap, because it's spending a lot of money to do just the stairs. And so we're spending all day making these stairs, and he's still got more to do. But then I was thinking, well, he was always going to need those stairs. That's not just for me. He was always going to need those stairs because he's got a whole place up here for storage. And so that's what it's going to kind of be, essentially, is all my clothes up there. And boy, the spiders are already out in the droves, man. Jesus Christ. As soon as there is like a little bit of warmth in the air, they are just zoom. Here comes the spiders. It's like they all hatch out suddenly. And that's one thing when you're out living in fields. There's lots of freaking insects. And so so I was like, okay, the stairs, it's not like, he's, just, and he's not building walls up there or anything. And so it's not putting a floor in or anything. So I was like, okay, so it's not really, it's just kind of giving me more area to put my storage, which opens up more area for him because he's going to put a big old giant RV in there. And so I said something about the building the wall thing. And then I said, well, I could just get some partitions instead. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. So I think I'm just going to put those up because I don't really want him to go and start building this whole wall and spending $1,000 or $2,000 or something to build this wall, because I feel so certain that I'm going to be going and, getting my own home. However it goes down, however it works. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now, is that I'm going to have this studio and I'm going to have storage up there, and then my little kitchen area, I'm just going to put like a little partition room divider thing to kind of separate it from where the tractors and stuff are. But it will be it'll be fine. It'll still be like a little room, but it's not going to keep bugs out or anything like that. So, and then once the flies come in, it's like hellacious, and you're cooking out there with all these flies, and it's really hard to do. I mean, I'll just have to hang tons of fly strips or something, because yeah, it's hard to manage flies in a shop. So, anyways, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. That's what I just keep hearing in my head. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Just, give it the flow. Just let things happen. Let things roll out the way they're going to roll out. So, but it makes me feel better to not, that he's not putting all this money in to try and make my apartment bigger or whatever, so that he, because most people do not see things getting better. They don't see it possible. They think things are just going to keep going the way they are. It's like, for those of us that can see, no, there's going to be a big flip. There's going to be a big abrupt flip that's going to happen. That's going to shift everything going in the other direction. It's just like kind of what the weather is doing even, It's like the wind's going to blow us and we're going to turn the other way. The floods are going to come in and it's going to make us have to swim instead of walk. Like, it's going to be this big flip in everything that is occurring in our lives. Just like we're all struggling and trying to make it and frustrated and being poor and all the things that are the struggle of mankind at this point is going to flip over. So yeah, there's going to be a big change in the money. Is going to be a huge thing. Our health, and I've already seen stuff about the if they were. If they've had the thing to be able to cure the big C this whole time, and they've held it back from us, that's going to be a big thing. That's going to be a part of what people are going to have to deal with. So there's going to be a lot of technology that's going to come, and as the technology comes, it's going to create a lot of frustration and a lot of emotions and stuff, because what has been hidden from us. And there's some of us that know they've been hiding this stuff, but there's other people who have no clue. And so when things start coming to the surface, then they're going to see, because there's lots of people still right now don't know anything about any list. They don't know anything about there's being any ships, or there's not nothing. Now I guess, and the NASA has put out now, well, we got 2 moons now here. Earth's got 2 moons. So things are changing and they can't hide all the stuff that they want to hide. Stella's running. She's on a field somewhere. I'm always wondering, where is she running? She's just running like... So who knows? Is she even a dog in her dream running? She could be a tiger chasing somebody. So I know that things are going to flip, and I know it sounds so crazy, like, because even when I'm, talking to my brother, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to get a house, and then to them it's like, okay, poor little Kelly, she lives in a little fantasy, your poverty, you're not going anywhere. And then, like, my daughter is even all concerned, like, your disability, you're about to lose your disability. And I just keep being like, yeah, but I just know things are going to flip. Things are going to change in the world, and I don't know, maybe I'm going to have to live for a while, more poverty. I have no idea, and I'm going to have to live with flies laying fly larvae maggots everywhere for a while. I have no idea what is left for me to go through, or what the next few weeks, few hours, few months hold. I think a lot is going to change in 2026 for sure. So I think there's going to be a lot of changes, and hopefully that is changes in the financial part, so that I can get a house. And who knows, maybe it is, I'll buy this property next door and start building a house on it, and stay here while my house is getting built. I don't know. I just have no idea what. But the weird thing is the future's already set. Like what I'm here to experience is already set. I don't have to try and force it. I don't have to try and stress out about it. I don't have to, try and figure out how I'm going to do it because it's already done. I'm just going towards it. So it's up there. I'm just going towards it, but I don't know what I'm going up to, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there. And I think that's the part where a lot of people don't really understand. They think that each day they get up, they have to do something to make it get there. You have to keep going on the track. You got to keep going towards it. So you do have to take action, but you don't have to. It's more like what you're supposed to do comes to you. So, how things go, it comes to you. And a part of the problem has been that they set us up to believe like we have to go out and get loans, we have to go out, talk to bankers, we have to go out and do this and that and all this stuff in order to move forward. And so we go and we do those things instead of letting things happen. So, but that's kind of the way our experience was. We were here to learn from that whole experience and then put the two experiences together. So the next part of the experience is going to be where you start seeing like things are going to start happening more naturally, and you have a life set out for you. But there still is it is still like the timeline of the negative timeline, the one where you're in the dark, the one where you are just being in toxic dramatic relationships and stuff like that. And then the other side, the flip side, is when you are loving yourself, you're going towards, taking care of yourself, trying to do the best for yourself, trying to be real, that whole pathway is towards the light. And in the light, it is already set there for you. The path is already laid out for you. And so is the dark, but the path is laid out. But you still have to. It's so weird because a lot of people think, well, you manifest, you just sit and think it into being. But you have to take action. You have to be going towards it, and in taking the action towards your best lifestyle or towards the things that people don't see coming or whatever, when you're going towards it, see, you have to deal with stuff like that. Like, you can't sit and argue. Like, I'm not going to sit and argue with somebody and fight with them and try and convince them. It's way more of just keep going, even though it seems like you're going crazy, and keep going, and then that will show. It's either going to show up or show out or whatever. Something's going to show. So it is, and I don't believe it's going to show, that everybody who was trusting the universe was crazy. So I think it's the new example of, possibilities. So trusting in the universe has got a plan for you, and you just keep going towards that plan by living your best life, taking care of yourself, being truthful, being honest, being loving, being kind, and all of the things to try and go towards your healing and taking good care of yourself. That is the path that's going to lead you to some good stuff. And the other one, when you're going on the path of the dark, you've already got all those transits set up too. Like all of these different transits, these different people and situations coming in and out of your orbit, so that you go through the different experiences. And then it depends on what you do with the experience. Do you use it for your benefit? Do you grow from it? Or do you just sit and fester and become more a product of your environment, which, that is a part of it. I did that for decades. And so, but people who stay in the toxic stuff, when you learn from it and you grow from it, it was always going to be at that point. So everything is set up for when you get to the point of you reach your rock bottom, and then you turn and go a different direction. It's already out there. It's already set up. So you're always going to stop doing what you're doing when you stop doing it. And you're always going to go in a different direction the day that you go in a different direction. You're not going to trick the universe or surprise them. it happens. It's like you're running a program in order to go through the experience so that you can, because what you learn from looking at yourself when you are toxic, and then all of the things you have to do to change into being less toxic and being more caring and compassionate for yourself and more kind and mindful. And so it's just new, these other parts of yourself, being more focused on the other parts rather than the victim and poor me and always getting screwed over, and not realizing like, well, you're playing a part in this, being the victim, being screwed over. It's not just that the world's out to get you. It's just you don't take good care of yourself. So it's important to focus on you, your health, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. And so that's the learning how to love yourself and not just being a product, of this toxic environment. But so that pathway is all about learning through the experiences. And then you have to, when you flip, you have to start healing from those experiences. So you will have, where people thought you were a complete idiot. Well, they'll keep thinking you're a complete idiot. And so then when you start going in a new direction, you seem like a crazy complete idiot. So you have to get over that. You can't sit here and look at yourself the way other people look at you. You have to see like, no, I'm learning and growing from all this. I'm becoming different. And if they want to hold you in a space where they can't see you beyond what they see, that's on them. That's their own healing and stuff. That's their own, inability to grow and go with the flow. And, maybe they don't see that they can create change in their life. So obviously you can't create change in your life. So anyways, but those are all things that you have to kind of like get over. You can't sit here and look at yourself through other people's eyes. So that has to do with all of your healing. It's your healing, your self-identity, and your value, how you respect yourself and take care of yourself. So it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world is you're going into. So that's when you're manifesting your better life. So you're on that path, doing that work of changing your view of yourself and treating yourself differently. And that is how you are going towards the manifestation of the better thing. It's just like it's like a fork in the road, and you go this direction and you're the victim, and you're going to go in and learn how to love yourself and the things you don't do well for yourself. And then once you do, there's a lot of baggage that you have to let go of yourself. You have to forgive yourself for being stupid. You have to forgive yourself and not feel all of the shame that you feel from being stupid and ignorant and desperate and all the things that you aligned with in order to try and survive this path. Then you have to heal from that path. That's why you have to let go of all of this heaviness, all of this stuff that holds you back, because it will hold you into the dark as long as you let it. And you have to pull yourself free by changing your view of yourself, and you have to change your view of other people. Like, you can't just be like, well, I am different than everybody else, but everybody else is a stupid idiot. No, you have to see like, oh, we're all kind of going through this. We're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to grow. We're all trying to change. We're all kind of lost. We all don't know what the hell we're doing here. And so I just saw this video of this little girl. She looks like she's like 3 or 4 years old. She's a little cutest little thing. And she's staring out the window and she's crying. And the mom, I mean, I can't even get over these parents that are just like, I can't imagine being a kid now. And you just are walking around your parents, you're just on camera all the time. But anyways, she's crying and she's saying, I just want to go home. And the mom is like, well, you are home. And she's like, no, I want to go back to my home planet. I want to go back to my family. And she's like, what are you talking about? What planet? Where are you? What do you mean? Where are you from? I thought I was your family. And she's like, no, my family is pink and we live in a different planet and I want to go back. And the mom's like, asking more, well, I thought I was your family. I thought that this was your planet and stuff. And she's like, no. And she said something about, well, I don't know, something about blue and pink. And she said, this is the place that's blue. The other place is pink. And I want to go back to that place. And then the mom says, okay, it's okay. I'll take you there. I'll take you back to that place. And then the girl turns and she's so happy. She's like, you will? Thank you. It's like parents have got to really get it in their head. Like, this is real. Like, this isn't your kid. It's a little fantasy. Like, she really is from somewhere else. And she really is mourning, her other family. She remembers. And there's tons. There's so many kids right now. They're talking about their past lives way more than there used to be. It's like, and a lot of people think it's because the veil is not they're being born on purposely without this veil of not being able to remember that it's in the new world where we're going. It's going to be more important to know yourself in a bigger concept, not just this life, but to know who you are as being and to be more, remember, other beings from other places and other lives that you've lived. So it's, but there's tons of kids remembering like, and saying weird things to parents where parents, are kind of freaked out. Like, you remember when, you remember when we were brothers and we used to go and do this and blah, blah, blah. And then the parents like, no. And it's like, some of them are, you remember when I was your dad? You remember when I was your grandpa? It's like all these different things. All these kids are coming and saying to their parents, and their parents are like, no. And I think some parents are starting to catch on, like, oh, this is like real, especially because some of the kids just talk about it. A lot of kids are being able to see things that the parents can't see. And so it's, it's because this world is more spiritual. Oh, which, by the way, in where is it? Is it Ohio? I don't know why I'm always Ohio this, Ohio that. Could be Wisconsin. Could be Virginia. I don't know. But there's been lots of Bigfoot sightings. He's all over the place. And people are seeing him. And so that's getting more people to be like, oh, Bigfoot's real. Being somebody who has been saying Bigfoot is real for like, when did I start saying it? Because I've always been somebody who was like, everything is possible. Anything's possible, and people are like, no, it's not. And I was always like, yes, it is. But my friend, when we were like 18 or 19, she had a run-in with Bigfoot. And so I always have known, for a long time, I've been saying Bigfoot's real, and people would think I was so wacky. It's only these weirdo people, fringe weirdos, that think Bigfoot's real. It's like, no, Bigfoot is real. And so anyways, but now there's so many sightings. Now there's more people are being like, oh, Bigfoot's real. It's like, yes, Bigfoot's real. People are being shocked, dragons are real. It's like, yes, everything, unicorns, Pegasus, a whole bunch of different gods, a whole bunch of different beings, people from all over the place, people who are more advanced than us. It's all real. Fairies, dwarves, or whatever, it's not just dwarfs, because we have dwarfs. But all the mythological little things, folklore and all that stuff, it's all real. Shapeshifters turning into werewolves and all that stuff. All of it is all real. And so, it's a lot for people to start realizing like these things are real. So there's more and more sightings, giants. And there's not just one type of giant. There's all sorts of types of giants. And one thing, too, is I keep seeing these things about the Nephilim and the giants and the fallen angels and like all these different things these people say. But and they keep saying, well, the giants were having sex with the humans. And I was like, yesterday it just hit me all of a sudden. I was like, well, I mean, did they have, like, giants have tiny penises? Because how would their penis fit inside of a human? It's like, I'm just like, it would be like, what happens when adult human goes after a little kid? That it tears, it destroys, it's not good. And so, yeah, I was like, so giants are going in and having their way with the little tiny people, and then they are tearing that shit up, and then they are giving birth to. I was like, I don't know about this story. I mean, anything's possible. Maybe they shrink their, like, but yeah, I mean, well, you would think a giant penis would be like as long as our leg or something. I don't know. Maybe they're the not so giant giants. Maybe they're just the 7 foot, the 8 foot giants. And I mean, there's 7 foot guys with 5 foot girls. So, but when you start thinking about like these really big giants, then there's no freaking way some of these giants, I mean, huge people, if we want to call them giants, but I don't even know, like somebody who's 9 foot, 12 foot, especially when you start getting up to 20 foot or so, especially when you get up to these ones that were here that laid down and became mountains and mountain ranges and stuff. Like they couldn't, I mean, they could step on us and squash us. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if they were around with us. I saw some kind of story the other day, and I don't know what it was, Explorer's Diary or what it was, but it was all about in the outer lands, because this is the known lands. Where we live is our known lands, and then outside of our lands is all these ice walls and firm, like all these, like I've always say, it's like these bubbles of realities. And outside of these lands, there's all these other lands with all these other beings. And there was these giants that they had, they were like helping these human travelers and telling them things and explaining things to them. And the human travelers were like as big as the giants' hands. These giants were humongous, and they were the ones that they said they came here and were laying down, and they petrified them. They did something that turned them into, or something happened on the planet, something. I don't know. There's been a lot of resets. There's been a lot of, because they're just realities. They're realities that are just in circulation. So one ends and the next one begins. And that's what we're at this period of time, of an ending and a beginning, because this one's ending. And that's why you can rest assured that all this stuff, even though there's all these people thinking like, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, but they're going with the idea or the concept that this is going to continue. And it's not. It's going to take a sharp right turn. It's going to flip over. And so everything's going to turn the other direction. And it's going to go like the opposite. We're going to go the opposite way we've been going. And it's going to benefit us. And it's not going to benefit the people who have been in charge of this place. That's why it's their ending. And there is no just them going into, like, all these people are just going to run into their bunkers and for this reset and stuff. Like, there's so many different theories out there. And who knows what things are really going to play out and what things aren't. But I do know that those, the conscious beings that are actively raising their vibration, they're going to mosey themselves into a spectrum of life, a field of existence where it's a positive experience, where you're learning about different things. You're learning more about creating the world you want to live in, more about like the quantum theory and stuff, more about us being able to move around through portals and move. It's going to be just different. It's like we're going to become space age. We're going to become more advanced beings. But, we have to do the work to become more advanced beings. You don't just go from being ignorant and toxic and hateful to just going into a new world, and then you would be uncomfortable. You wouldn't know how to exist in a world like that. So right now you're kind of training yourself. You're preparing for a world that is a good place to be instead, because you're so used to the place you are. You're just like in survival mode. And so you're trying to shift out of survival mode into creative mode, into the creator that you are. And you know, another thing too that I saw this morning. So it's another one of these podcasts, and I don't know if there's just a lot of podcasts where they're just trying to make fun of women, because I don't think like it's just the women. I think it's the younger generations. And I've seen a lot of people like stop people at college, stop people on the streets. And this one was a podcast, but they'll start asking them questions, and they don't know anything. It is crazy. I just saw a woman who, she's been running a kindergarten daycare or something for 14 or 15 years. And somebody said, what changes have you seen? And I'll just show you. I'll let her say it. And then this podcast. Oh, I'll just kind of show you. Why should I just say it? I'll just let you see it. I think if I liked it, I might not have liked it. But let me see. Okay, here's the lady who's talking about the daycare.
Operated a daycare center and taught 4-year-old preschool for
4 years
20
old.
years. And I had a lady ask me
Just a
today
little retard.
if I had seen a difference in kids today and the kids 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, yes, ma'am, I have. I'm going to tell you, 10, 15 years ago, we were sending kids to school reading. Kindergartners were going in reading. They knew their sight words.
Wow.
Okay? They knew a quarter, dime, a nickel, a penny,
Wow.
and then the difference in the amount of it.
Wow.
Okay? They
That's
could
big.
hold scissors. They could hold pencils. They could color inside the lines. They knew how to write their names correctly with uppercase and all lowercase. They could recognize their names. They recognized letters, uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. Today's kids, they can't hold scissors. They can't cut and rip paper. They have no clue and no consistency with any chore. They can't focus. But I know one thing they do know. They know how to operate a phone. They know how to turn an iPad on. They know how to put a password in. And they can play games on the iPad. But they don't recognize their own name.
I know what their name is. This is scary.
I have...
So that's that's where, you know, our society has been heading. That's where they've been taking us. That's why we've got this, I don't know, a world of foolishness at this point. But let me see if I can find this podcast, because it is just like, oh my God, this is embarrassing.
But I made the switch.
Let's see if I can
I've been
find
waiting
it.
for this.
This is scary.
The best you over the
I
contract
have some returns and I have some.
address. Just be aware.
This guy is
because
talking
there are
about
a
this
ton out there.
money
And
thing.
as always, guys, this is purely just my opinion. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research.
This is the end of it.
Peace. We only have 9 days left until this Simpsons prediction and Trump makes us millionaires overnight. So make sure you watch till the end and save this video in case it
This
gets
is the one
taken
I was
down.
talking about
So
with
everyone
the
knows that
coin thing. So
I have some
he's
returns.
saying, he was explaining about the,
But with most people probably already knowing about this.
because there's supposedly a big fatality they're preparing for. The government is preparing for some big thing. Like shocking. I swear to God, I mean, those of us who started thinking about that stuff back in 2020, it's like, oh my God, they're getting all these coffins. There's there's a lot of weird stuff, and still nothing. I mean, we're still like waiting for this big fatality. So whatever is going to come is what's going to come. I don't know. It just seems like the more time, more space and time, it's like, supposedly this fella is gone, but who knows? There's always these fake AI things all the time. I do want to find this podcast thing. Oh shoot! Right to oh no. Here's the wind thing from, but there's a bunch of trucks and stuff that are dumped over on their sides. Oh, here's one of them. But no, it's not that one. It's the first one. Oh, here's the little girl.
family's back there?
Yeah.
I thought I was your family.
I don't want to be on on my Sally blue side. I want to be on my Sally pink side.
Oh, they're pink on your planet? Oh, okay.
I want to go back to my planet.
Okay, baby, I'll take you to your planet, okay?
And then go back walk you to when I go back to then I go back to my home.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, I don't think she should get her hopes up like that. It's like, girl, we're all stuck here. Nothing we can do about it. You gotta make the best of it. That's what you need to be telling your kids, because yeah, it's true. We are all from different places. Some people can remember, and then they're like, God, what am I doing here? Even at young ages now, they're like, what am I doing here? This is horrible. Oh, here's some Maui stuff. The floods. They got a big disaster there. Might be more islands too. I don't know. I just saw in the thing that was saying Maui. I think this is more of the... Oh no, this is Michigan. The rain has started. It's just like everything is turning into frozen tundra. Let me find this podcast thing. Oh, here's more with the floods. Oh, here it is.
And that's what made the Japanese enter World War
Okay.
II. Where did the attack on Pearl Harbor take place?
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
So, was it the United States that bombed Pearl Harbor?
Yes.
In Japan. And that's what made the Japanese enter World War II.
I feel like I'm getting rage baited. Like, I don't... Yeah?
How much is a quarter of an hour?
25... Oh, wait, no. I feel put on the spot. It would be 25 minutes, right?
If you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be today?
8.
What decade was World War I?
1812 to 1814.
Who can name 3 Kardashians?
Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian.
Will you date a guy who's obese?
No.
Okay, why not?
I just prefer, I feel like, I mean, I know obviously I'm a little bit overweight, but I definitely want my partner to take care of themselves in that way, especially if we're getting a little bit older.
When you say
It's
take care, so I mean,
Fit.
You want the guy to be fit.
Yes.
Can you tell us what your cutoff is here?
I mean, the 40% I wouldn't.
Why not? What's wrong with the 40%?
It just kind of looks unhealthy. I mean, but that's just a picture. If they looked like that and they were active, then that's a different scenario.
I'm not trying to be rude.
I know. Ready
Your
for it.
body type equivalent is probably the 40%.
Probably.
more.
I'm not denying that. I know what I look like.
So if a guy makes $20 an hour and he's, I think, a reasonable first date spend would be $100. If he's making $20 an hour, that's 5 hours of work for the both of you.
Okay.
To be fair, he's eating his own food. So just your portion of that bill, let's say it's $50. A man who makes $20 an hour has to work 2.5 hours. Now, I'm not even factoring in tax. 2.5 hours to take you on a date. When I think about the bow that I desire, 3 seconds, done. That's all she has to do. It's effortless. Any woman can do it. When a girl says men should pay for first dates, the translation there is go dig a ditch for 2.5 hours. Instead of the bow, if I told a woman, you have to go physically labor for me for 2.5 hours to go on a date with me, y'all would be like, that's way worse than the fucking bow. That's bullshit. I'm not fucking digging a ditch for you for 2.5 hours. Name 3 countries besides the USA.
Africa, Antarctica,
Yeah.
Europe.
Name 1 continent.
Greenland?
Greenland.
I don't know what I'm saying. Miss, I'm so sorry. I feel like such an idiot.
What is the capital of the USA?
That's a trick question. Is it not? Wait, I don't...
What is it? What do you think it is?
There's a capital of the whole USA?
Natalie, you're gonna keep the fuck. I don't speak Spanish. Can you speak English?
Oh, this
So I
one.
can understand. Oh my
They
god.
just go into some kind of, as that girl won't speak to him. Because I don't know. Because I don't, I mean, I just, and I've seen this before. Because that it, besides this podcast thing, I've seen these podcasters or these people go up to people on like a college campus and stuff and start asking them questions like that, like what is the capital of the United States, and it's like, I don't know, and all sorts of questions, just like how did World War II happen in America? We went over and bombed Japan. And it's like, you guys, what are they teaching in school? But they can open up iPads, they can play games, they can put on their makeup, they can say who the reality star, like name the Kardashians and stuff. It's like this world is so shallow and superficial, which, you know, in one sense of it, we also, everything that we are taught is lies. So, you know, the continents and I don't know, the whole thing of Earth or whatever, everything is a lie. Science is like, they just lie to us. So, but you would think, you know, I don't know, when you hear these people who can't keep up with the lies that we've kept up with, like you hear like these kids, they can't recognize their own name. They can't do, because I know like kids used to, like it used to even be, if you wanted your kid to go in kindergarten, they had to be able to read, they had to be able to write, they had to be able to count. There's a bunch of stuff that you were expected to teach your kid as a parent to even get your kid in school. Now, I don't know, apparently they don't have to learn any of that stuff. Parents are what, too busy going to work? They don't have time to teach their kids. And then whatever, we just having kids just for tax exemption. Like what, it's just so weird because it used to be so much about, you know, having a family and being proud of, you know, teaching your kids things and stuff. I saw a woman teaching her kids, and she's videotaping it to show. And what she is teaching them is how to have attitude. So how to walk in a room and have attitude. It was like, what? There is, like, we've got kids that don't have manners. We got kids that are just, like, the world is so different. And yeah, when you're a kid, and, you know, you're expected to get up off the couch if an adult walks in the room and sit on the floor. Yeah, it is kind of like a problem to know your status in life is not that important. But it's still, to now where we have kids that are just so obnoxious, like they're so disrespectful, no manners whatsoever. They don't know how, like, I've even seen like high school teachers and stuff saying like they're graduating kids that don't know how to read, they don't know how to write, how they even hold their pencils, they don't know how to hold their pencils. Then we know they can't read cursive, they can barely print, and they don't know how to read a question and use any kind of common sense or any kind of critical thinking to figure out answers. They have to go to their computer and ask their computer how to do things all the time. It's like they're dumbing down society, and that's what they showed in that movie, Idiocracy. They showed that that was going to happen, and then it seemed so absurd. But now you're watching, like you know, with the technology of you know, work smarter, not harder. So let your computer do everything. It's like that's not good for you. Even in the things that they did to try and make women's lives easier, you know, women were in better shape when they were down on their hands and knees cleaning their floor than they are with, you know, just setting their vacuum on automatic and having their house vacuumed by their thing. And then you think like, well, women shouldn't be down on their hands and knees having to clean the floor. But when you think of it as just exercise, when you think of it as like, well, I gotta be moving, I gotta clean my place, and if I have this thing come in and clean it, then I'm not getting the benefit of any exercise. So when you don't think of it as just being like, well, I gotta get down on my hands and feet, on my hands and knees and clean, but really it's exercise. Like if you've ever been down on your hands and knees cleaning something, it's like you'd be sweating. So, and back when women were doing that, they were in better shape. Now we got these women, and then you see like these people who they don't take care of themselves. They're not in good shape, but they demand their partner be in good shape. They demand their partner be somebody that's good to look at. It's like you have to, don't you need to be what it is that you are wanting? If you want somebody who is in good shape, don't you need to be in good shape? It's like, it's the weirdest thing. It's like people want what they're not willing to put out. It's like, well, you got to figure if somebody else is out there and they're going and putting in an effort to take care of themselves, then why are they going to want to be with somebody who's not taking care of themselves? Especially when that person wants somebody who's taking care of themselves and they don't feel like they need to take care of themselves. It's like, that is such hypocrisy. It's like, that is so strange. And so, I don't know. I mean, those kinds of things are all going to become so much more with clarity. You know, when your hypocrisy, the way that you look at things, the things that you value and stuff, those are the things that are going to start becoming what's changing, the priorities. Because a big part of this world is we're going to go from this shallow victim, you know, I don't take care of myself, it's too hard and stuff, which, you know, they did make it hard. I mean, they have gotten people work smarter, not harder. They've got, I think, 3/4 of the population are on some kind of mood stabilizer. And so they've got, you know, most people feeling isolated, feeling depressed. They don't know how to talk with one another. I mean, when I was a kid, you didn't have a choice. You had to go and talk to people. You had to go do an interview. You know, as a teenager, you had to go in and interview and talk to adults. You had to go, you had to talk to strangers all the time. It was like just a part of your training in this world. Nowadays, they don't do that. Or you can try and talk to some people who can't even, the only way they're comfortable even communicating is through text. They don't know how to even converse. It makes them too uncomfortable. It gives them anxiety. So we have this world full of anxious, isolated, depressed people who are filled with poison and toxins and stuff that is depleting their health, and then the stuff that is making people like gain weight, not be able to lose weight, and it's causing hormone disruption, thyroid disruption, all this disruption. And now it's coming out too that some of the stuff that they have been putting in to the different water, or even all different foods and stuff, is also a chemical castration for men. So it's causing, I mean, when people are like, oh, these soy boys, and they're not manly and stuff, because men used to be a lot more manly, and now they're a lot more like, they're not. I mean, even where Timothy Chalamet, like, he's creating a ruckus out there. He's like really creating a ruckus where he's like having a lot of people that just don't like him anymore. He's so full of himself and so arrogant. But now he's going out and comparing himself to Marlon Brando and Heath Ledger. And then you look at him and he looks like a little boy. He doesn't look like a man. He looks like a little boy. And then and anytime these guys go with these Kardashians, it's like, this is some kind of gateway to hell. It's like, it's the training for their replacement person or something. And so, I don't know. It seems strange, but yeah, he thinks that the opera and ballet, you know, they're too old-fashioned and stuff. Boy, he really caused a thing with that. And so many people, I think he lost a lot of followers. He lost a lot of people that just don't like him anymore. And I saw somebody even talking about all the other things he's done. He's done way more. This thing has got him more attention, but he's been, I don't know, just too full of himself for a long time. It's like, dude, humble yourself. Try and remember, you know, you're not better than everybody else. And but anyways, yeah, Marlon Brando looked like a man, and the same age as this kid who looks like, you know, are you low on testosterone? And or you have no stress. Maybe that's part of it, Crystal. Like, it's the stress factor. You gotta have some stress in order to become a little bit tougher. But I mean, our world is full of a lot of stress right now, and it's not making these guys tougher. But when they're putting all these chemicals in there that are disrupting their the hormones and stuff, and even causing a chemical castration. So some of these got like they're, I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's the thing, is like, you do have all this stuff working against you. And so that's where you got to give yourself some mercy. You got to be like, man, this place is rough stuff. And it's a lot to overcome it. Just like that one guy who was talking about how often you do detox. He said, I used to tell the patients, you detox once a year. But he said now it's like, you got to detox like every day, once a week. There's way too much in our environment. And so, and all those are disruptors. They disrupt your system, your metabolic system, your hormones. And so it puts everything out of whack. So anyways, but luckily somewhere up ahead we got these med beds that are going to help us get ourselves back into whack. So, but the big thing is definitely focusing on your inner self, your emotions, your insight, the parts of you that are internal, your spirit, your soul. Working on that is what I say to do. That's needs to be the focus. She's on the move. She's so stiff, but I am so stiff too. I was like, I don't know, with these fucking toxins and shit. Like, man, it is rough, man. It is rough right now. It's like, whatever's going to happen, I think we'll all be welcoming it. Some people won't because they don't see it coming. But those of us who see it coming, we're going to be welcoming it. It's like, oh, finally, something's going to change, man. So anyways, we'll see. I hope that we are that close to the financial thing, or the people seeing the truth and getting us all on the same page, and people really starting to understand what's going on this planet. And, because the main thing is we're in an ending, and it's at a time of a beginning. And if you want to bridge over to the beginning, then you have to work on it. And if otherwise you just leave and then you go somewhere else, and go back to your pink planet, go back home, go back to where you feel safe again. So no matter where it is that you end up going, it's not going to be bad, even though to a lot of us we'd be like, oh yeah, but if you reincarnate, you have to go back to this kind of place, you have to go back and deal with this shit again. But the thing is for the soul, it's a development program, so they are not fully developed right now to be able to master the creator role or whatever. They've got more things to learn, and you don't want to skip that. You don't want to skip your lessons. So it's not a bad thing for them to go back into other lives, and then probably there'll be some kind of break in there. They'll go to the gray halls or the purgatory. They'll go to the healing space for a while. They'll go have some reunions with some other beings, and then they'll go back and do some other lives. And when this splits off, there's way more people that are starting to catch on, though, that the split is the negative splitting off from the positive, because the thing that was being told for so long was the rapture and the good is going to split off, and then this place is going to become horrible, and the tribulation or whatever, and it's going to be hell on earth and all that. But really, that's not what I see. I see the negative pulling it's like the positive is pulling off from the negative, and so everything positive is pulling away from the negative. So if you're going with the positive, it's pulling away from the negative, but that leaves the negative with no space to go, because the space that they were in was where they existed. So they're the ones that are leaving, they're the ones that are going off. So when this big split happens, and if there really is some type of a rapture or separation of the people or the energies, then it's going to be the positive are going to be staying in this space, to rebuild. Like I said, it's like to clean up the mess, and then the negative that can't meet that, match that vibration, they're going to go to where they match a vibration. And that's why I'm always trying to push people to work on themselves, work on yourself. But that's why people like me who are talking about this, we are not being mainstream, because it's an internal thing, you have to do. Not everybody is like getting this information right now. So, and there's a reason for that. So, and I don't know, fully what the whole thing is. I don't know why, but I know that there's a reason. So, anyways, but I know, we do need to be working on ourselves. That we do need to be letting go of the dark and what holds you, what binds you. It's like sever the chains that hold you and move into the higher vibration, the light, if you want to go towards a better world. Even though there will be some cleanup and there will be some aftermath, but that's the part where the humans grow. Everything is growing. It's going to be a whole new existence, and it's going to be better. And then I think there's going to be people who are going to get a taste of it too, but you have to be able to match the vibration. Like, there's definitely going to be people who just just seem kind of mean and hateful, and like, I don't know, like these two girls that just decided they were going to resurrect somebody, so they decided they needed to kill a classmate. It's like, when you're kind of just thinking like, these people who are out like, well, what can we do today? Well, why don't we go torture some animals? That'd be fun. Let's go kill somebody. Let's go kill something. Let's go be destructive. That energy is not going forward. And I think people who are just like confused and and not seeing the full picture and being judgmental and stuff, those people, I think, are going to go forward, but they're going to be faced with some hard reality. A big new look at reality, and trying to change their attitude and stuff is going to be the challenge. And so that's going to be the hard part, because you got to figure out, like, how do I change my attitude? Because it's going to be very uncomfortable, just as uncomfortable as this is right now. It's the energy. It's going to become more uncomfortable, because it's going to be just a vibration that we're not accustomed to. And so there's going to be a lot of people who are not at all ready for it, prepared. So it's going to be a big thing. And it's coming, and who knows, hopefully, we start becoming millionaires and all this stuff. We all get homes. We all get freedom from debt and everything coming up quick. We all get our health back, if we ever even had any. Like, who knows? Maybe we've always been trying to make it in this toxic world, but it's probably always been toxic. I think that they just got better at it, but it probably always has been, because they, they were creating this world for however long. What's absurd? I just saw this guy talking about something, but he was also talking about the Spokane courthouse, and it's a very Tartarian type of, old history place, and they're trying to say that it was built in 1 year, and the guy was discounting, like, there's no way for the stuff that they had to do, and this was they're saying it was built before they even had tools and stuff. So yeah, it's so stupid. But anyways, Archie's staring at me. I think he wants to go out. Sounds like the wind is going again today. Man. Oh, God. I don't like the wind. But, at least, there's people out there in the frozen tundra with tornado blizzards and people who are underwater. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. So, for the days where there's just... we just gotta get through it. That's all I know. We just gotta keep on pushing forward. Even though you're not supposed to be like, trying to force things, but you do have to force yourself to be resilient. Force yourself to just keep going, even when things are just like rough, man. And it is rough. It's definitely rough. That's what I gotta say about it. So anyways, we'll see what this day brings us, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. But until then, just stay in tuned with yourself. Stay focused on yourself. Learning how to love yourself. Learning how to love everybody. And learning how to have the day you want to have. Don't let them drag you down, man. So that's all they want to do, is hold you back and drag you down. So anyways, we'll see what this day brings us, and we'll talk about it later. Talk to you later. Bye.